Here we go. So we start standing on our mats, just maybe shuffling from one side to another, looking down at your feet first and trying to kind of set 2 footprints facing forward, and kind of pedaling the knees. And as you're moving your knees, kind of have a look at like your knee is in between your hip and your foot, so it's going straight down and straight forward. And you can feel the sole of the feet to come all the way onto the toes, roll it down. Feel the parts of your feet that are down on the ground and the parts that are always up, like the arch of the foot. And then coming to a stance. So your knees are very softly bent. So they look straight, but you know that they're not locked in a way. And you're going to try and bring the pelvis back and forth, maybe poking the hips back, coming forward, keeping the movement into the hips. So if I show you from the side, I'm just going to lean my hips forward, feeling the little stretch in the front, little compression in the back, and then the opposite, compressing the front, stretching the back, and like noticing if that feels good. If it doesn't, and if there's a place that you know you're kind of naturally inclined to lean into, and making it a little slower, and trying to find the movement of the pelvis without bringing the upper body. So lifting the tailbone up, arching, and then engaging and rounding the lower back, drawing the tailbone under. And as you're moving, not as if like you're instinctively matching your breath to your movement, or if you're not, there's usually we do tend to find a rhythm. And then find a place where it feels comfortable. Maybe you need a little side to side movement in case a little tightness in the waist or in the sides of the hips. And then finding that comfortable place for the feet, the legs, the hips. Let's roll the shoulders. So bringing them forward, all the way into your ears, all the way back. You can notice if as you're moving your shoulders, your head moves as well. Let it be. And you're trying to keep your knees soft, your pelvis aligned, keeping the movement into the shoulders. Maybe bring the elbows into it. Notice what happens if you move one head to the side. And then see if we can reverse the movement, bring them back, up, forward, and down. You can keep it just in the shoulders or just bring the elbows into it. And notice what happens with your breath. If part of the movement creates more tension, if some of it feels nicer, you can let the shoulders relax. And then gently pay attention to the neck and head, looking down, looking forward, looking up more with the eyes than with the neck. And looking down, maybe rounding a little bit. And looking forward, looking up with the eyes, maybe looking up with the face. And just check the mobility in your body. So if you're moving your head, how far do you move in your body? Can you feel your knees, your spine? And come back to center. And maybe turn all the way to the left and all the way to the right, looking all the way behind you, looking forward, looking to the left. And again, like you're not trying too hard, you're looking from one side to the other. You notice whether your head pivots as well as it turns. So does the chin to back of the skull line alignment moves as you're looking to the side? And I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying notice what happens in the movement of your cervicals. And pay attention to what feels good and what other parts of your body turns as you move. Are your shoulders moving? Are they tensing? Can you feel it in your legs? Let's see if we can do a circle. So we're going to look to the side and all the way down and all the way to the other side, all the way. So move slow enough that you can be conscious of everything that happens, fast enough that you find a flow. For a few rounds, change directions. Let the movement be natural and just pay attention to how far down your back, where you feel it. If there's one place that feels nicer. And then slowly come back to center. Stay here and breathe. Keeping the knees nice and soft. We're going to move one arm at a time and bring it all the way up. As we're softening the knees, we're going to come and reach the arms all the way back, come back to the center. And then the other arm reaches up. I'm softening the knees, we're twisting back, and we'll bring it to the center. It's kind of like a back roll, but we're also bringing a little rotation into the spine. And bring your head with it. Maybe keep the still arm onto the hip to feel how that feels. Inhaling, reaching the arms, and exhaling all the way back. You can twist more or less with your spine, so if you feel it into the back of the shoulder or into the spine. And just warming up again, paying attention to whether one arm moves better than the other. I'm going to inhale the right hand up, and as we're reaching back, we're going to bring the hand towards just the top of your hips, your sacrum, and the front hand towards the front. And see if we can soften the knees and lengthen the lower back a little bit. So I'm tucking my pelvis down, my tailbone down. And here I'm going to stay into a little twist. So not too much, just drawing that shoulder back. I can see the top of my shoulder, letting it come down. Keep my chin aligned with that right shoulder, and with that left hand, I gently hold the hip so that my hips and my knees stay facing forward. And I can notice where the breath goes into that little twist. Keeping my hips nice and relaxed, my knees nice and relaxed. The weight onto my feet. And on an inhale, I'm gonna lengthen up, exhale, come forward, and then inhale the left hand up, twist all the way back, bring the hands onto the lower back, the other hands onto the front of the hip, and we can move here. So find the place where it feels right for your pelvis. So your lower back in long, and you can really feel that your hips are facing one direction and your chest is twisting the other. Left shoulders go back. The head turns to look past the left shoulder. These are soft, hips are a little back. Toes are relaxed onto the ground. You can shift your weight from one side to the other. And inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, come forward. And let's bring the hands behind the head And we can interlock the fingers and support the base of the skull into the hands. So here I'm just going to try and lengthen the back of my body. So I'm relaxing my shoulders down. I'm letting the crown of my head come up. I'm keeping my knees a little bent. And I'm pushing my head back into my hands. And as I breathe, I relax the shoulders. I let the elbows come out to the side. And we can inhale, maybe draw the elbows more open. On the exhale, draw the core in and let the elbows close around the head. So you're very gently resisting the head against the hand against the head. Again, as you're moving, notice if your shoulders rise as you breathe in and out. Notice if your back is arched a lot and if you find that your weight is not balanced over your legs. And then let's come into the open elbows position. And we're going to push the hips onto one side and on the inhale, reach the top elbow up. On the exhale, slowly come back to center. And inhale, pushing the hips onto the opposite direction and stretching the elbow up. So you again, you keep the weight of your hands of your head into your hands. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side, turning the gaze towards the ceiling. You're stretching from the outside foot to the top elbow. And come back to center. Relax your hands down. Let's bring your feet together. And we're going to set the weight into the left foot. And maybe maybe hold on to something for balance. Maybe bring the right hand onto the right thigh. And on the inhale, we're going to slide and bring the knee as high as we can. Hold it for a moment. Exhale, bring it down. So then we change legs. So inhale, slide the leg all the way. Exhale, bring it down. So you keep the other hand onto the standing leg. And as you keep that hand on the standing leg, make sure that you don't fall at the hip. Inhale, press into the straight leg. Draw the knee as high as it goes. Keep that shoulder down. Exhale, come back to mountain pose and change the leg. Next time you've got your right leg up, see if we can keep hold of it. So just holding behind the knee, bring yourself to a straight standing position. Extend that left leg, push into the left foot, balance from the heels to the two sides of the base of the toes. Notice that you can draw your navel in, let your lower back be long. If it's balanced, see if you can draw the knee a little higher. And we're going to then bring the left hand back onto the hip and keeping everything else steady. See if we can open that right leg to the side. So I'm going to just let my lower leg dangle, use my hand to hook under my thigh and try and balance here. And you can actually dangle that lower leg. Notice if that changes your balance. Making sure that so the top of the thigh is facing towards the ceiling. Exhale, let's bring it forward. See if we can hold the ankle, keeping the balance, the top of the foot, and then trying to bring both thighs back parallel. And with your hand in the front of your belly, drop your tailbone down. Feel the stretch on the front of the right hip. You can also stretch the top of the foot and the shoulders by drawing it back, drawing the elbow back. So trying to keep your left leg and your upper body facing forward. Notice your breath. Make this an easy practice. You can stay here, you can take a break if it's a lot, or you can soften the standing knee. Slide the hand down towards the knee and see if you can hinge forward. Maybe extend the leg back. And then exhale, slowly release. Try and keep the foot up. Give it a squeeze. And exhale, bring it down. And take a moment just standing. Close your eyes. Feel both legs, feel the difference. The effort it took for your left leg to hold you as you were standing. When you're ready, let's press into your right foot and slide the left foot into your left hand. Take a moment here to set your balance. If you're not balanced, just keep bringing it up and down, or lean your back against the wall. If you are balanced, if you can grab it with both hands and just gently draw it up towards your chest. Noticing muscles activating in the straight leg, in the standing leg. With every breath, you might draw the knee closer to your chest, but keeping the shoulders relaxed, the head balanced. Notice what happens if you lean the weight of your upper body into your front thigh, and then engaging the arms, push the knee back into the hands. And you let your body hold itself. And then supporting the knee with the left hand. You bring your hand inside and face you. So bring your hand inside the thigh and keep this hand on your tummy, on your hip, on your lower back, wherever it feels. And then just letting that lower leg be totally loose. So you're keeping your standing leg strong. But if the knee is locked, if you're balanced over the center, the inside of the leg, should be not that much effort. And then the hanging leg is actually not doing anything, it's the left arm holding it up. So as you're holding it up, just notice the weight of your leg. And slowly come back forward. And bring the knee back in. See if you can have your ankle and bring your thighs together. So feeling the stretch in the front of the left thigh this time, keeping the pelvis from tilting back. So drawing the front of your pelvis in. Checking your right foot, your right knee. And then if you feel balanced, you can slide your right hand on the right thigh, softening the right knee. And gently expanding the leg behind you. And then slowly come back. Bring it forward, squeeze it in, and relax it down. Come back to standing. Feel yourself. Notice the muscles in one leg, the other, how that feels. Now is the feet hip width apart. I'm going to inhale the hands up. Look up and stretch. You can even exhale, turn the palms up and face down. Take a couple of breaths here. Maybe changing from side to side. Maybe rolling the shoulders as your hands are facing up. So inhaling all the way up, exhaling, soften the elbows. And on an inhale, reach the hands up. On the exhale, bring the hips back and reach forward. We're going to try and come into that straight position. So we're going to lean the hips back nearly to the point of the toes coming off the floor. And reach the hands forward. Lengthening the back of the legs, lengthening the spine. And then on an exhale, I'm going to let the upper body come and rest onto the thighs. Let your head completely relax. You can hold onto the elbows. Breathe here. Maybe swing from side to side. Notice the four sides of your feet. Every breath, let your spine lengthen, let the back of the legs lengthen. And on the exhale, you bend your knees. You can put your fingertips on the floor. You're just going to lower your hips wherever they go. So if your heels come off the ground, that's okay. You can come up onto your tippy toes. Just see if you can come and lean onto your hips or into a little squat. And if it really doesn't work, then don't go as high or come back to standing. If you're down here, let's push your hands into the floor and pressing into the hands. Extend the legs again as far as they go. Let the crown of the head come down. On the inhale, keeping weight into the hands, coming back into a little squat and lengthening the spine in the end. Exhale, push into the hands. Extend the legs, head come down. Inhale, look forward, lengthen the spine. So you can use blocks here, or you can even use, a chair in front of you. So having your hands on the seat of the chair or on the back of the chair. Just a couple more. And on the next exhale, in a forward bend, let's put the hands down and move one leg after the other. Drop your knees. Come to hands and knees. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. The middle finger pointing straight forward and the feet pointing straight back. Let's exhale, draw your navel in, push into your hands and into all of your lower legs and round your spine up. On the inhale, slowly let the belly arch, look forward and exhale around again. So you're moving with your breath. You start with a slow movement. You start by paying attention at the rhythm of your breath as you're following the movement, following the breath with the movement. Feel the energy into your lower abdomen, how you can draw the navel in and start the rounding movement from the lower spine. You keep your arms and your legs really steady, and you feel like you're rotating the shoulder and the hip sockets around the top of the leg and the arm bones. And there may be some creaking or cracking. Just pay attention, try not to bring any more tension into the body. Coming back to a tabletop position, let's shift the hips back ever so slightly. And on the exhale, we're going to push the hips down into child pose. On the inhale, we're going to slide the hands forward and come and drop the thighs, the hips, the belly, and the chest into the ground. Head comes last. Then inhale, I'm going to lift the chest. Exhale, push back into the hips and come back into child pose. Inhale, slide forward, peel your body down. And exhale back into child pose. So notice how much movement there is in your arms and your shoulders. Trying to resist with your hands as you bring yourself down, lifting the shoulders first, then the chest, then the hips. On the exhale, as you're moving, keep pushing yourself away from the ground, lengthening, finding space around the spine, letting yourself relax into the stretch. I'm gonna come back into our child pose and rest here for a moment. So really breathing. When you're in child pose, you're letting your weight come down. You can feel how close your sorry, that's a great idea for me not being attacked, but it's a bit noisy. So in your child pose, just let your weight move down. And feel that you can breathe more into the lower back, finding space into those vertebrae. And you might even feel like the back of the hips releasing. Now you're going to inhale, come back to center, and lift the knees into a plank position. So bringing, actually, you know what? Let's take it easy. Let's just come onto hands and knees. So from hands and knees, let's inhale, extend the right leg. On the exhale, we're going to turn it out to the side and bring the knee towards the shoulder. And then inhale, you're going to extend it back and face your hips down again. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, the left leg up. Exhale, bring the knee to the shoulders. Inhale, extend again, and exhale back to center. So you move with your breath. Inhale, one leg straight back, not higher than the hip, and then exhale, open the hip and bring the knee towards the shoulders. Inhale, extend the hips stack together. Exhale, face your hips down and drop your foot back. Inhale, open the legs to the side. Exhales, knee to the shoulder. Inhale, extend the legs so the hips are stacked, and then rotate the hips and come back. Moving with your breath. Let's do one more on each side. We're going to come into extending the right leg. We're going to keep that right leg extended. And try and put your weight into all of the lower left leg. So it's not all into your knee, also pushing into the front of your foot. And we're going to lift the left hand. And this time as we inhale, we're going to try and bend the right leg and lift higher. Exhale, come back into that Superman plane. You can bend actually the elbow and the leg. Oh, really hard to bend that front elbow, isn't it? And exhale, come back to center. Take a couple of breaths in the center. Just notice the difference. Watch the breath activates. Take a child pose if that feels good for your hips. Give me a moment to wrap up the cat. And we're going to move on to the left leg. But that didn't work. So inhale, extend your left leg back. Take a moment, set your left leg all the way. And when you're ready, also extend the right arm forward. And then I'm gonna try and bend the knee and the elbow. Inhale, extend. So when we're extending, we're trying to stay on that one plane. As we exhale, we bring the foot and the hand up, trying to stay in a back and forth movement. Equally balance your weight between the standing hand and the standing lower leg. One more. And exhale. Come back to hands and knees. Push back into child pose. You can keep your chest up and using the hands stuck on the mat, push your hips as far as they go. And then try and let your body rest down as you extend and the forehead on the ground. Just inhale, come back onto hands and knees. And we're going to extend the right leg back. And then exhale, bring it towards the shoulder like we did. And extend out to the side. And we're trying to stack up the hips. If we're balanced, we're going to push into the left hand and see if we can lift the right hand, balance it on top of the body. So you can bring your hand onto the outside of the hip and lift it here. Maybe extend it all the way towards the ceiling. Try and reach up, taking weight off the bottom and breathe and balance. And then exhale, slowly come back and to hands and knees. I'm gonna inhale the left leg up. Exhale, turn the hip, move the knee towards the shoulder, and then extend the leg back, stacking the hips on top of each other, setting the weight into the right hand, right lower leg. Bring the left hand alongside your body. Balance here. So keep your top arm just resting on top of your thighs, and then you come and press your thigh into the hand that's leaning against it. Helps like lifting the hips. Maybe extending that hand towards the ceiling, taking the weight of the standing hand, pressing into the fingertips. And then exhale. Let's keep the leg up. Bring the left hand back down and bring the left foot all the way forward. So adjusting, like the one very important thing for any of those poses is not to have your foot underneath you and your knee way past your toes. This is just going to stretch the ligaments into your knees, and it really isn't all that good for you. So find a place where the heel is under the back of the knee, and like wherever that means for your other leg. And from here, let's see if we can bring the hands inside the knee. Take a little weight into the hands and open the knee out to the side. And then bring it back, touch your shoulder, open it out, bring it back, touch the shoulder. So you feel you're pivoting. You're not really moving your ankle all that much. Keeping your weight in your hands. You can have hands on your blocks or on the top of a chair. And see if you can stay with the leg open. And taking the weight into the right hand. Let's push into that right hand and bring the left hand inside the knee, and maybe very gently encouraging the knee to open a little more towards the side. Just be careful, be aware of your right leg. Don't sink all the weight into your back knee. Lift your chest. Just feel the stretch into the hip. On the exhale, slowly bring the knee back in and press back onto your hands. Lift the back knee up and step back into a downward dog. So downward dog, your head is between your arms, your spine is lengthening all the way back. Your knees are as bent as they like. They can bend one after the other, and if downward dog doesn't feel right for you, keep your head, your knees down into the ground and just stretch the hands forward. From here, let's shift back onto hands and knees. And extend the right leg up, lifting it out to the side, bringing the knee to the shoulder, and bringing the foot all the way to the outside of the right hand. Setting your weight into your hands, back leg. If you can open the leg and come back, close it, tap your shoulders and open again. So a few times with your breath. Let's see what works better for you, whether you inhale the leg to the shoulder or exhale it to the shoulder. And you're not going as far out as you can into the stretch. You're finding which muscle it activates. And then when you're ready, let's leave the leg open, press into the left hand, adjust the right leg, and just bring the right hand inside that right leg. Gently open it a little more. You can do pulses. Keeping the weight spread between the heel of the hand, the base of the fingers, and the fingertip. And the same way between the top of the foot and the outside. Just take a check whether your lower spine is really arched. If you feel like you're aligning the center of your hips with your heart and your head. And slowly bring the leg back. And let's move the fingertips. So we're going to stay up onto that bent knee and move the fingertip back so that you're extending the front leg. And you're going to adjust the distance. And I think the cat is stuck. And see if we can come back and lengthen over the hips. So I'm going to keep my right leg straight, keep my hips balanced, and with my hands in my lower back, I'm going to try and tilt my pelvis and ever so slowly, ow, that was sore, move back. So you want to kind of keep the pelvis moving forward. If it's easier to keep the foot down on the ground, then you can do that. Actually, it might be, yeah, let's just concentrate on the front of the left hip and keep this one flat on the ground. And like we did when we were standing earlier, I'll show you from this side. And inhale my left hand all the way, and then exhale, twist and come. And I can tuck my back foot under, see if I can touch my heel. And if you really can't touch your heel, then you bring it into your lower back and you just expand this angle and keep the pelvis tilted. If you can touch your heel, see if you can lengthen the front of the body so you keep the tailbone coming towards the front heel. And only if that feels really comfortable, you can inhale the right hand up and back. And keep drawing the left hip forward. And then slowly bringing that right hand back, bringing yourself back. Let's come into a kneeling position. And see if we can stay here. Just noticing the difference between your hips. Noticing the alignment of your spine, how easy or challenging it is to remain balanced with your hips and legs settled into the ground, making no effort whatsoever, just supporting your weight like a base. And then your chest, your rib cage being balanced right over your hips, with your spine being gently and naturally curved, but not taking any extra weight. And your head being directly aligned over your heart and your hips. The shoulders are just like your legs. They're not in use at the moment, so they can be totally relaxed with your hands hanging out to the side. When you're ready, let's slowly bring your hands forward again. Tuck your toes under and push back into downward dog. Breathe into your downward dog. And when you're ready, let's extend the left leg back and bring it all the way forward between your hands. Drop your back knee. And let's set into our half camel pose on this side. So first, letting the tailbone come down, drawing your chest back, and already started kind of leaning. So the upper body back, feeling that stretch into the front of the hip. You can actually push a block under the knee and keep the toe up, and that might be easier, or even a block under the foot. Cushion might be more comfortable than a block or a blanket on top of the block. Like we did earlier, we can inhale the right hand up. On the exhale, reaching all the way back. Reaching for the heel if it's there. If it's not there, just pushing your hand into your sacrum. And taking a moment to just lengthen the front of the right hip. So you're trying to bring your right hip back over the right knee. And then if it's comfortable, you can inhale the left hand up and look towards the ceiling. Keep leaning your hips forward, extending your chest. On exhale, we're slowly going to come back. And dropping the knee back into the ground. Coming back into a child pose, consciously setting yourself down, feeling the change in the spine. Breathing into any areas of tension. And then inhale, press into your hand, lift your heads. And I'm going to shift the legs to one side. I'm going to keep my left leg folded in front of me and keep the right leg folded at the back. So it's like half kneeling, half butterfly position. And if I need to sit onto a block, you can do that, or a pile of blocks. Whatever you need to keep your spine nice and upright. So taking a moment to find your balance into that position. Inhale to the center. On the exhale, we're going to turn towards the right leg. Inhale, looking a little further back. And exhale, turning all the way towards the left. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, all the way back to the right. Use your fingertip to prop yourself up. On the exhale, set your weight back down into the ground. And turning towards your right leg, the one that's folding half kneeling. Take a couple of breaths here. See if you can center your weight over your sit bones or aim to And then you can bring the right hand out to your side with your thumbs facing down. I'm going to wrap it all the way around you and see if you can come and hold the inside of your left hand and then place that left hand on the shin or the knee of the other leg. And just take a few moments to breathe here. So you're feeling the stretch quite intensely in the front of the right shoulder. You can do conscious neck circles. And as you're doing your neck circles, look at your shoulders, look at your spine, at your belly, at your legs. If you see anything that looks a bit crooked or really tense, maybe you can relax it. If you're doing neck circles, do a couple in one direction and then change. And come a little more into the twist. Inhale, really lengthen. Exhale, really let your shoulders relax down your neck. Let your gaze look out of the corner of your eyes. Feel your arms pushing into your spine pushing into your arms. Your hands pushing into your elbow pushing into the hand, and back up the left hand or left hand against the left leg against the left hand, and all of your lower legs into the ground. And then exhale, slowly release. Come to face in between your knees. Inhale, lengthen here, and on the exhale, step your fingertips forward and reach your sit bones back, and then your hands a little more forward, and then your sit bones more back, and keep moving this way. So elbows down, sit bones reach back, going as far as you like, maybe dropping the head down, maybe not, or maybe making a little pile of block or something to find a place where you can just release the weight of the head. As you're breathing into deep hip stretch, let yourself relax, let your belly relax. Find the places where your body is suspended and try and let those places be heavier so it's moving down towards the ground. And then inhale, slowly lift your head up, slide your hands back, lean back onto the hands, and let's change your legs over. So finding a moment, bringing the feet as close to your hips as it's comfortable. Finding the place where you're facing in between your thighs. Again, you can sit up. That might be actually really nice, like a little block or a big block or a cushion. You might just release what you need. And sometimes you're better off, especially in those kind of like slow, yin type poses where we don't move that much, we don't stretch that much, we're just waiting for the body to settle. Like if you're putting your body in a place where it's like really like past the edge of your comfort zone, then your muscles are going to be like tensed and like holding on tight because it's really hard and they're not going to relax. Whereas like if you prop yourself up and you're like, oh yeah, this feels easy, then as you breathe, as we twist, as we move, then you're going to allow your body to relax into the stretch and get deeper into the flexibility. So, try and see how hard you're trying and how good that is for you. Now, with this in mind, let's gently exhale and turn towards the right side. Inhale to center and exhale to the right side. And actually, let's inhale when we're into the twist. So we find that little length into the twist, and finding length means pushing yourself off the ground to lengthen along the axis of your spine. And then as you exhale, you just release the spring. Let your body rock back to the other side. Inhale, push yourself off the ground, whatever it is that touches the ground. Your sit bones, your thighs, your legs, each vertebra on top of the other, and the head on the very top. On the exhale, come all the way to the other direction. So move with your breath. Feel what happens in your legs, in your hips, around your waist, belly and back, along your chest and in the front and the back of your shoulders. Your neck, all the way to where you direct your gaze. And when you're on your left side again, let's see if we can stay here for a few breaths. So you don't want to, in any of those poses, in poses in general, you don't want to get any feelings in your knee. If you get like pressure, any kind of tension, any kind of like compression in the knee, like open the leg more, lift your hips up using rocks. Just be aware of the different types of sensations in your body and keep yourself safe and doing the right thing. And if you're comfortable here, you know, hook the right hand onto the hip or wherever it's going to hold a twist. Bring the left hand up, turn the palm to face back and the thumb down, and then draw the hand all the way behind you. Come and wrap it around your waist, or you can have a strap around that right leg, wherever that works for you. Oh no, sorry, I said, wait, grab um, the inside of the right elbow is what we did in the next side. So grabbing the inside of that right elbow and then twisting again and hooking that right hand somewhere on the right leg. And this time we're trying to feel the stretch into the left shoulder. So if it feels better to do neck circles, to check one shoulder after the other, check that your head is not forward or back, or maybe just a gentle no, whatever works for you. And be hinging one ear to the shoulders. And again, you go back to the contact of your body into the earth, pushing yourself off without trying too hard. Breathing freedom around your waist. So as you exhale, softening anything that you can soften and letting the twist happen a little more. In the chest and the back of the shoulders, letting the elbows be heavy, the arms be relaxed. And the head then looking all the way past the left shoulder with the eyes looking further again, right out of the corners of the eyes. Your chin is down, your neck is long. Inhale, lengthen here and exhale. Slowly come back to center. See if we can find a place in the center, facing in between our hips. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, push your sit bones back down. Hands come a little forward. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, keep the sit bones or the hips down. Moving with the breath. Only as far as it feels good. And to find a place where you can relax down. Wherever that is for you. So your head might not be like at all close to the floor, it might be in your hands. It might just like be sitting upright and there's a slight slant in your body. Wherever you are, try and take a few breaths and scan along your legs and let the leg relax down into the ground. And when you're ready, slowly come back up to sitting. Lean back and release your legs. And put on your layers. And we're just going to do some gentle lying down movements before Shavasana. Getting back up. So set yourself up. You stop scratching me. Let's lie down onto our backs. And we're going to bring the knees to the chest and give ourselves a little squeeze, a little roll, and stay here for a few breaths. So think about it as the reverse of child pose. And let's just come back, close your eyes and relax your arms and try and move the room around in your mind and turn yourself upside down and feel yourself being in child pose. Just notice that now the weight is over the front of the body as we're on our backs, and just notice where the hips are as balanced as they would be like on your knees, if the angle between your thighs and your upper body is any different. If you can do anything in a relaxed way to let your thighs come closer to your chest. Like maybe you can resist against the hands ever so slightly. You can move with your breath. And then keeping that nice lower back into the ground, let's open your arms out into either a T shape or a cactus arm shape. So cactus arm is elbows level to the shoulders, but bent so that the hands are closer to your face. And do just spend a few moments just finding the place where you can just relax. The shoulders down into the ground. Now keeping this, let's draw your knees a little closer to your chest and slowly swing them all the way to the right hand side. And when your legs are down into the ground, let's try and extend the top leg, the left leg. And then on an exhale, bring the knees back to the chest and roll all the way down into the left side. Inhale, stretch that right leg, maybe coming all the way to touch the toes with the fingers. Exhale, roll back onto the next side. And inhale, stretch the right foot. Keep moving with your breath. And after a few times on each side, let's stay on the left side. So left, or whichever side you're going to do first. And maybe you extend the top leg, and maybe you hook your fingers over the toes. Maybe not. Maybe it's like holding the knee. And then you can turn your face all the way to the other direction. And breathe, relaxing the shoulders into the ground, the arms into the ground. Maybe gently drawing that top hip into a deeper stretch by resisting against the fingers. But really closing the practice with slowing down of the movement, of the breath, of the intention, of the intensity of what we're doing. And slowly release the foot, bring the knees back to your chest, roll down onto the next side, maybe extend the top leg, maybe hook the toes to the fingers, relax your shoulders into the ground, look past your right hand or your whichever outside hand. And slowly release the feet, tuck your knees to your chest, roll back onto your back. You might take a stretch of the legs over the ceiling and the hands past your head. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the legs, and then slowly bring them down to the ground. Take one more stretch into the ground and then soften down into a Shavasana with your legs slightly apart. Your hands either open to the side, palm facing up as that really releases the shoulders down, or hands resting on your chest and belly as it may help keep your awareness onto your breath. And give yourself those few minutes to finish the practice. Noticing the breath in and the breath out. Letting the inhale bring fresh energy and awareness of the present moment, your location, your body in space. Like inhale to the mantra of here. really feeling what it is to be here. And as you exhale, let go of anything that came to your mind, anything that came to your attention, any tensions in your body, any thoughts that you don't need to deal with right now, any emotion that you're not rejecting, but you're letting rest so that you've got space to observe the next. And as you exhale, you might think to yourself, now, for this is a single moment of relaxation. Just breathe into here and out to now, letting yourself marvel the constant renewal of this cycle. Letting go of control, knowing that life goes on, the breath goes on, comes in and out, whether you let your mind wander or not, whether you tense your body or you relax it. With every breath, you might notice something different or something similar. Notice that if you keep your attention open, if you don't clog your mind with analyzing or judging or overthinking the why and the how, you can observe so many more little elements. And as we're resting into this space, here and now, let's bring a very gentle smile to your lips. Draw your awareness to the center of your chest, to the idea or the feeling of your heart beating. Let's just bring a little loving kindness meditation mantra to close our practice for this week. Let's focus on your own heart, your own being, uniting your mind, your body, and your spirit. You can repeat silently after me. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from sufferings. May I know peace. Bringing to your mind and your heart's mind someone you care for, any being, present or past, wishing them well with those words. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from sufferings. May you know peace. As you're resting, feel the energy deep into your heart, along the center line of your body. Feel it inflate with every breath in. And gently disperse around you with the breath out. Feel the connections between all things. And keeping your eyes closed, gently bring movement back into the body. Make your way back to sitting. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Rest your head down. Notice that energy inside you. How you can get it from the earth and let it move through you, sharing it with anyone who needs it and storing it for any moment that you might need support. Let's sing Om together to close the class. Taking a deep inhale. Wrapping your hands, getting that energy, that heat into the palms of your hands. Covering your face, blink your eyes open in the darkness. Bring your hands to your shoulders, your beautiful hearts, hips, knees, and feet. Namaste.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Julie.
Thanks, guys. Have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend. And look, we got the sunshine out.
Sun is out. Woohoo!
We did it.
Yeah. Thanks, Julie. Bye-bye.
Yeah.